CPAC 2019.
And Dave Sussman back with you at America's Voice News from CPAC 2019. It's crazy here. We're meeting some incredible people, including the former ambassador to the United Nations from Israel and currently the president of the Jerusalem Center for Public Affairs, Dore Gold. Welcome. How are you today, sir?
It's great to be here. This place is buzzing with energy.
Yeah, you're very popular. The entire atmosphere right now is taking a look at what is happening with a lot of sentiment regarding Israel in the United States. And one of the first questions that I have for you is that there seems to be this burgeoning cauldron of anti-Semitism that's coming from some progressive corners right now. We're seeing it with Representative Ilhan Omar and some other discussions taking place regarding BDS. What is your perception of this?
First of all, people do not understand what BDS is. You know, actually, if you take the acronym, it means boycott, divestment, and sanctions. And it sounds like just another left-wing cause to get the Palestinians further along towards the state. But I read in Arabic what the Palestinians are saying about BDS. And what they are saying is that the state of Israel must be eliminated. Those are the same demands they made in 1948, the same demands they made in 1967, those are the demands today. But unfortunately, many people who don't understand this go along. They're fellow travelers. But what they are doing is they're helping a cause which wants to destroy an ally of the United States, and we will fight back.
So, obviously, this preservation of the state, you're a tiny sliver of land in an otherwise extremely unfriendly neighborhood. What is the feeling right now in Israel regarding the American support, and what we're seeing also in Western Europe with this cauldron of anti-Semitism that's growing, especially in places like France?
Well, it doesn't surprise many Israelis about what goes on in Western Europe.
Okay.
Don't forget, Western Europe includes Germany, and Germany was the source of the Holocaust. Mm-hmm. So, unfortunately, anti-Semitism still exists. But what we're seeing is it's coming in a new form. Take, for example, Great Britain. Great Britain was the source of American civilization and Israeli civilization. But they are led on the socialist side. The head of the opposition is a gentleman by the name of Jeremy Corbyn.
Yes.
And Jeremy Corbyn calls Hamas and Hezbollah his friends. This is Great Britain. This is the Ally. This is Winston Churchill. This is a mess. And we will expose the truth about Jeremy Corbyn and his friends, because we think he just doesn't only undermine the state of Israel, he undermines America. So if we can be a good ally, it's certainly to pass the information over and know what's going on.
Many in England are saying that Theresa May, the only reason she is still Prime Minister is because Jeremy Corbyn's leading the Labour Party and because of his anti-Semitic relations with Hezbollah and Hamas. But you and I were briefly talking before we went on camera here, and I've been to Israel many times. There's a lot of good Arabs, especially from the Palestinian, from the West Bank and Gaza, that work in Israel. They are good people. Do you think that there is a time in the near future where there will be a shift with the power, where Hamas is no longer ruining these people's lives?
Yeah, I wrote a book for Regnery Books
back
in 2003 called Hatred's Kingdom. It was all about Saudi support for terror. Mm-hmm. And back then, 70% of the Hamas budget, when they were blowing up buses in the heart of Israeli cities, came from Saudi Arabia. But the Saudis had a wake-up call, and they made a decision. They stopped all financial support for Hamas.
Right.
And Iran became the primary supporter of that organization.
Right.
So things are beginning to change.
So talk about the perception right now in Israel about President Trump. He obviously moved the United States embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. What is the feeling right now there?
I think President Trump did two extraordinary things. When the Iran deal was reached in 2015, the majority of Israelis thought this was a disaster.
Right.
And Prime Minister Netanyahu did something which he was criticized for. He went to the U.S. Congress and he exposed what's in the Iran deal.
Okay.
Now, we were deeply concerned about this, but what did President Trump do? He got out of the Iran deal. And then he moved the American embassy at the same time from Tel Aviv to its Israel's rightful capital.
And a lot of Jews are very, very happy. Ambassador Gold, thank you so much for joining us. Greatly appreciate you taking the time. And thanks for joining us here at America's News. We're going to be tossing it over to Jesse. Thank you so much.